Leadership Assessment: How to Gauge Your Current Level of Leadership. This is a 4-part questionnaire to help you understand where you are in the leadership journey related to the 5 levels. There is a PDF of this questionnaire included with this audiobook. Completing parts 1 and 2 should not require a large investment of your time. Part 3 may take a bit longer since it involves other people, but please get that started too. Its main purpose is to verify whether your instincts and self-perception are correct in Part 2. Part 4 will give you insight into where you stand overall with your team and should be done after you've completed Parts 1, 2, and 3. If you do this groundwork, you will be in a much better position to grow in your leadership as you listen and work with the remainder of this audiobook. Part 1, Leadership Level Characteristics. This first section applies to your leadership in general. Please rate which of the following 10 statements you agree is true for you and respond using your first instinct. Level 1. I don't have to remind the people who work for me that I'm the leader. I think of each person who works for me as an individual person, not just in terms of his or her function or role. Most days I look forward to going to work. I recognize that the position I've been given is an opportunity to learn, not turf to be guarded. The people who work for me are willing to do work above and beyond their job descriptions. I know that dealing with people problems is a part of leading and have accepted that as part of the job. I possess the desire to learn more about leadership and become a better leader. I think of my job in terms of work to be accomplished and give very little focus to career path and the positions I desire to achieve along the way. One of my primary objectives is to assist the people who work for me. Most people find it easy to work with me. If 8 or more of these previous 10 statements are true for you, then you have probably already established yourself as a leader on level 1 and have begun to move to the higher levels. However, if fewer than 8 are true, then you have probably not yet mastered level 1, and this is where you will probably begin your work in personal leadership development. Why? Because you're only as good as the lowest level you've mastered. Level 2. People outside of my department or area of responsibility respect my opinions and frequently seek me out for advice. I know my strengths and weaknesses and rarely get blindsided in my work. I genuinely like most people and want to help them. I am very consistent and even-tempered in my interaction with the people who work for me. When I say something to the people on my team, they always know they can count on it because I am trustworthy. I have developed solid relationships with all of the people who work for me. The people who work with me find me likable and pleasant nearly 100% of the time. When I need to have a candid conversation with team members to correct errors or take care of problems, I follow through and don't allow too much time to go by. I believe that employees desire more than just a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. Most desire encouragement, and I give it to them. I have developed relationships with everyone who works for me. If 8 or more of the previous 10 statements are true for you, then you have probably reached level 2. If fewer than 8 are true, then your answers indicate that you've not yet mastered level 2, and you don't yet think like a level 2 leader. Please be aware that even if 8 or more of the statements are true in subsequent sections, you cannot be on the higher levels of leadership because you have not yet won level 2. This also applies as you answer the questions in subsequent levels. Level 3. I consistently hit targets and goals in my work. Good people always want to work with me and my team. People see me as an expert in my field and seek me out to learn from me. I am constantly setting and achieving higher goals for myself, even when my superiors don't set them for me. My performance in my work often carries the team to a higher level. I give my best to whatever I do. I am comfortable with the idea that others are watching how I perform and follow my example. I am known as a problem solver, and I often get difficult tasks done. My work is very consistent on a daily basis. I have systems and routines that help me perform at a very high level. If 8 or more of the previous 10 statements are true for you, then you have probably reached level 3. If not, your answers indicate that you've not yet mastered level 3 and you don't yet think like a level 3 leader. Level 4. I schedule and follow through with training and development for all the members of my team on a regular, consistent basis. When deadlines loom or work becomes urgent, we never cancel our training and development sessions. I consistently take risks by giving people responsibilities and authority that will stretch them. I spend a significant amount of time every month mentoring up-and-coming leaders. I know very thoroughly the strengths and weaknesses of all the people I lead. I individualize the way I train, develop, and mentor my people. I spend the most strategic and significant mentoring time with the people who have the highest capacity, talent, and potential. I have a history of moving people from position to position to help find their fit. I'm continually giving people feedback not just during formal reviews. My team or department is considered by others to be the best trained or one of the best in the organization. If 8 or more of the previous 10 statements are true for you, then you have probably reached level 4. If not, your answers indicate that you've not yet mastered level 4 and you don't yet think like a level 4 leader. Level 5. I can name several specific people whom I have encouraged to speak hard truths to me, and they do so regularly. I am using my influence to instill values in my organization. The course of my organization is set by me or by a team of which I am a part. I have developed many leaders who are developers of leaders. I enjoy the interaction and friendship of a small circle of leaders with whom I am taking the leadership journey. I am still at the top of my game, and the positive impact I am making is strong. I can name at least one person who would be ready to step in and take my place should I decide to leave my current position. I have influence outside of my organization. People from outside of my specific industry seek me out for leadership advice. I am using my influence and resources for causes greater than myself or my organization. In leadership, you're only as good as the lowest level you've mastered. So I just want to remind you that even if you scored highly in one of the higher levels, if you scored poorly on a lower level, your leadership is actually on that lower level. That is where you will need to give your attention when working with people to improve your leadership ability. Part 2. Individual Team Members Assessment. Leader's Point of View. For each person you oversee directly, direct reports, please answer yes or no to the following questions. Level 1. This person acknowledges you as his or her leader. This person would agree that you are suited for the leadership position you hold. This person would acknowledge that you see your position as an opportunity to earn your place at the leadership table, not as a privilege to be used for personal advancement. Level 2. You know things about this person's family and personal life outside of his or her work. You know this person's strengths and weaknesses. You know this person's hopes and dreams. You are committed to helping this person succeed in his or her work. This person trusts you, and you trust him or her. Level 3. This person respects your professional ability and qualities. This person asks for your advice and expertise. This person has become more productive because of your influence. This person would acknowledge that the team is more productive because of your leadership. This person would agree that your team contributes to the vision and purpose of the organization. Level 4. You have given this person specific training that has helped him or her to perform better. You have mentored this person or put him or her in a development process that has helped him or her to become a better leader. This person is now leading others because you have given opportunities and training for him or her to lead. This person is consistently loyal and supportive, and always gives you the benefit of the doubt. Level 5. This person is not only leading others, but has trained those he or she leads to develop leaders thanks to your input. This person could step into your role with a very high probability of success if you were to step down. This person is your advocate and champions you with other leaders so that you gain others' respect even before you meet them. Evaluation. You can learn 2 things from this yes-no assessment. First, you can understand where you are with each person on the 5 levels of leadership based on your answers. If you have answered no more times than yes in a section, then you have not gotten to that level with that person. Instead, you would be on the level below that one. The second thing you can learn is where you need to work to improve. A no answer to any statement indicates where you need to do some work. Part 3. Leadership Assessment. Team members' point of view. This section of the questionnaire is a worksheet to be filled out by the people who report directly to you. They may do so anonymously if they wish. Use the same criteria for evaluating this assessment as you use to evaluate the Part 2 yes-no assessment. Note that even if you are a very good leader, you may have an employee or volunteer who refuses to put you anywhere but level 1. You can try to win over that person on level 2 and then progress. But there are no guarantees that the person will allow him or herself to be won over. Leadership Assessment. Please consider each statement and respond with yes or no in reference to your leader. There are no right or wrong answers. This assessment is designed only to describe your interaction with the person. If you wish, you may answer this assessment anonymously. Level 1. You acknowledge this person as your leader. This person is well suited for the leadership position he or she holds. This person treats the leadership position as an opportunity to earn a place at the leadership table, not as a privilege to be used for personal advancement. Level 2. This leader cares about your family and personal life outside of work and regularly asks you questions about them. This leader knows your strengths and weaknesses. This leader knows and respects your hopes and dreams. This leader is committed to helping you succeed in your work. You trust this leader and he or she trusts you. Level 3. You respect this leader's professional ability and qualities. You rely on his or her advice and expertise. You have become more productive because of this leader's influence. The team you are part of is more productive because of his or her leadership. You and the team you are part of contribute to the vision and purpose of the organization. Level 4. You have received specific training from this leader that has helped you to perform better. This leader has mentored or developed you to help you become a better leader. You are currently leading others as a result of opportunities and training given to you by this leader. You believe in this leader and automatically give him or her the benefit of the doubt. Level 5. You are training and developing other leaders thanks to the input from and influence of this leader. You could step into your leader's role with a high probability of success because he or she has prepared you for it. This leader has changed your life, and you are an advocate who champions him or her with other leaders. Part 4. Current Leadership Level Assessment. If you print out the PDF of this assessment that is included with this audiobook, you will see that Part 4 provides a grid that allows you to enter the results from the first 3 parts of the questionnaire so you can gain a snapshot of your leadership ability. If you complete this questionnaire before listening any further, keep this assessment in mind as you return to the audiobook. The Guide for Growth at the end of each section will help you to improve your leadership skills and move up to the higher levels of leadership with your people.